Welcome to the channel yet again. It's been a while. I hope everyone out there is doing okay. We're back today for the FA Cup final. Manchester City versus Manchester United. I want to welcome Anthony to the stream. Anthony, how are you?
Fine, thanks. I'm fine, thanks. How are you?
I'm okay. As we wait for the other guest to come, I think we should go right away and start on the topic, which is our first, and that is Eric Ten Hag and his future. We have seen a lot unfolding in this 1 week, but that is United always. There is always news, whether you want it or not. United will always generate news. Others for the clickbaits, others are leaks and stuff like that. So this week we have seen several leaks, particularly one from a certain journalist, which says Eric Ten Hag will be sacked after the FA Cup final. At the moment, we all don't know really whether that is true, but I think that is what is looming. We saw with Louis Van Gaal, leaks came even before the final, and after like 6 hours after the final, he was sacked. So at the moment, I guess all of us are, zeroing towards Eric Ten Hag getting sacked as the fans. So I want to get your opinion on that. Do you think Eric Ten Hag deserves all that is going on before a cup final?
Well, no one deserves that. No one deserves that. And you can even see someone who is really determined. Yes, he knows the season has been bad, but no matter how good tactics you have, they cannot work when you don't have any player. Yeah? And these players have been injured all season. And last season, this was Eric was among the best managers last season. He just came in, win a title. Man United had not won a title in I don't know how long. Then he wins it in his first season, finishes third. I don't know how many points above Liverpool. But the way they treat him is like someone, is like someone who has an agenda against the coach. It feels like this guy, the wrong thing he did was fighting with the press, and we all know where that will end. The only way you can win is if you perform well, and unfortunately the results have not been that good. So, probably there's no smoke without fire. So maybe next week, we're just going to get that message from Fabrizio Sports, the guy is going.
Yeah, I think we have been seeing everything leaning towards him getting sacked, because irrespective of United being on the final right now, cup final right now, you can't finish eighth and not be uncertain about your job at this prestigious football club. By the virtue that Eric Ten Hag finished eighth, that is enough to make his job uncertain. So we're going to see what unfolds after the final, whether we win it or not. I think a decision has already been made whether Eric Ten Hag continues or he gets the sack. We have been seeing some rumors coming out of Germany like Thomas Tuchel declined the job declined the negotiation intentionally because he knows he has a job already at United. So it's just a matter of time.
Lance,
Yes,
that is where I see these journalists are inconsistent. You know, one journalist says this, one journalist says McKenna, the other journalist says Tuchel, and don't forget Southgate was also in this in this rumors thing. Some other journalist said Southgate, it will be Southgate. Another person said it will be the former Brighton coach, the Zabi. No, it's like no one is sure. No, everyone is just posting for clicks only.
exactly. And only time will tell, isn't it? Because right now it's like everyone is saying McKenna has a job, and what we are not hearing is Ineos making any statement at the moment. And ever since Ineos joined, we have been hearing statements only about the structure of the club. We haven't really had any news on the way of play they want. The kind of manager they expect to have at United. We haven't really had. So, and Eric Ten Hag also came out on the Thursday press conference and he said he held talks already with the club, and they don't need to talk again after the final. He's going on holiday. So no one can really tell, because what if they held talks already, that they're planning for next season together? So at this point in time, I don't think any of those journalists can be trusted. And I don't know the journalists that broke the news, that leaked the news, if he's a reliable journalist. But at the moment, all we can do is really wait. But I know there are mixed reactions. We saw on Twitter, there are a collection of United fans that feel sorry for Ten Hag. They feel like he doesn't deserve the sack yet. He deserves a year. And if he fails to prove himself in 1 year, then he can get the sack. And I feel like most United
I think
faithfuls are.
I think Lance, I think this is the only time where the majority of the fans, like almost like 80% of the fans, they want Eric to stay. This is the only time. All these other times where managers were sacked. All of us wanted the managers to be sacked. David Moyes, almost everyone wanted David Moyes to be sacked. Even with Mourinho, man. Everyone,
I
but
think
I don't know, with Eric, a lot of the fans want him to stay. So I don't know, maybe Ineos, they will no longer care about what the fans think, and they'll just go with their tactical knowledge of football, and they see maybe Eric is not good enough. So I don't know. Whatever they do, I hope they're right.
I think right now, if I'm speaking out of the technical bit of it, I don't know what is going in and around with Ineos, but I feel like they shouldn't be making a decision on a manager right now, because Ineos itself has not yet sorted its structure at the club. We know there is Sir Jim Radcliffe, who is a 25% owner of that stake, but Ineos has not yet sorted its structure. We have only seen a one permanent member of the structure being active at the club right now, you know, and that is a gentleman that was got from Southampton. So if they're making a change on the managerial ranking right now, I don't think it's a right move, because yeah, they have the people in place, but my gut feelings are they should give Ten Hag 1 more year. There's a feeling that this might work right when when given a year, there's a feeling like it might finally work out for United, or it might eventually work out for United. So we can't really tell. We can't really tell. And Dennis, we want to welcome you to the show. The first topic we're talking about is Eric Ten Hag and his future. And right away, we want to hear your point on this issue.
Yes. Thank you very much. Can you hear me very well? Can you get me clearly? Okay. Yes, thank you, Langs. Still just struggling with some technical issues, but now, thank God I've got you guys. So we're talking about Eric Ten Hag and his future at United. There has been a very big rumor. Actually, I don't think it's a rumor anymore. I think it's just a matter of time until we wait for the official news. But I think we know the future. We have had this big rumor saying Eric Ten Hag will
It
leave.
feels like you're very happy on it.
No, well, it's mixed feelings. You get it's mixed feelings. I'm happy, but at the same time, I'm not happy because first of all, the timing was not right. The timing of the news, the way the news came in, some people are not yet sure whether it looks confirmed already, but the way it came the night, the evening before the big day, because as we all know, there is a big game for Manchester United today. So the timing of this news is dangerous, and this is why I'm not happy about it, because it comes with very many issues, and also me as a Man United fan, I get worried seeing how these things are being done by the owners, the new owners. So um, yeah, it's mixed feelings for me. I'm happy that there is a change going on. It shows some level of seriousness by the new owners. It shows that they have a plan on something that they want to do by taking these actions immediately. But on the flip side of it, it's also dangerous to the club because the way they did it, I'm sure many people don't agree with it, and we still don't know what lies ahead for the future of the club. So it's mixed feelings for me, but hopefully we see something better going forward.
Hopefully, whatever, whether it's Eric, whether it's someone else, hopefully we shall see the United.
Yeah, but as Anthony said earlier, for the first time in the history of sacking a manager at this football club, you feel like majority of the fan base do not want this to happen. And I think anyone would argue this out, but when Jose Mourinho was getting sacked, collectively everyone wanted him out because it was so toxic. It was so toxic. The same with our legend, the club legend Ole. For Ole, it was even worse. It was a mass
Yeah,
rally on Twitter. Everyone wanted Ole out. And
even
for Louis Van
the
Gaal,
game pressing master.
for Louis Van Gaal, it was so brutal. You know, a few percentage of the fans were sorry for him because this is a man who had just won us an FA Cup. You know, and I got the sack. So for Ten Hag, it's a lot of mixed reactions. We have finished eighth. By any virtue at this football club, everyone should be rallying behind getting the manager sacked. In normal times,
Mm.
anyone in this football club, any fan should be wanting this manager sacked. But we are surprised. People are feeling sorry for the coach. Why do you guys think after United finishing eighth, majority of the fans look like they want to continue with this manager? What? Why do you guys think it's unfolding like that? Is there something that the fans see in this manager and probably other fan bases do not see?
Yeah,
Yes,
surely
Dennis.
there is something in him. Yeah, yeah, there is something that we the fans see in Eric Ten Hag because we've seen him at Ajax before, and we've seen the style of soccer that he he brought up there. So we know that there is something that this coach is good at. We have not yet seen the best. Me personally, I think we have not yet seen the best of Eric Ten Hag. This season has, unfortunately for him, this season has been very bad, and the board has decided to do what they are going to do. But we know this guy. We know he's a technical coach. We know he has good tactics because we have seen it before. The question is, why haven't we seen it being established at Man United? We don't know. We don't know what is happening because we have seen this. It's not like it's a gamble. We didn't get Eric Ten Hag because it wasn't a gamble. We saw his record at Ajax, and then we decided to bring him into Manchester United. But when it came to Manchester United, we didn't see that. We didn't see any of that. In his first season, yes, it was a good season, but we didn't see anything that showcases what he's made of, his style of play, the style that he used to showcase at Ajax. We didn't see any of that. So at Manchester United, I still think we have not yet seen the best of Eric Ten Hag. And we may not see it because, as we know, the big news is coming. I don't think he may continue with the club. So it's unfortunate for him, but hopefully his career gets better. Whether it means him staying at United and gaining form, or him leaving and getting another good club where he can start another good career from there.
But before we go further, I would want to know your personal opinion because you're a Man United fan. I would want to know your personal opinion, your personal take on this manager without being biased, without saying anything to protect your name from the other fans. I want your personal opinion on this manager.
Yeah, like I said before, it's mixed feelings. I feel good, but also I feel bad because we don't know what the future holds for Man United as a club. We don't know who is coming in. So it's a good thing for me because we may get some good manager, and with their new owners, maybe they have a plan. So and maybe the plan might actually work. So for me, it's mixed feelings.
Anthony,
I don't know about you,
the
Dave.
manager finished eighth, and Anthony, the manager finished eighth, and for some reason, you don't see United fans, majority of United fans coming for his head. The driving factor behind that.
First of all, for any Manchester United manager finishing eighth, that is a sackable offense. But for Eric, I think if you see what he has gone through, if you see what he has gone through, everyone has common sense. There is no coach in the world that can go through what he has gone through and still manage to compete. Not long ago, just last season when Liverpool had so many injuries, what happened? Not even last season. Some 2 seasons ago also, when Liverpool had injuries, what happened? You know? So, and that was Klopp. That was Klopp. Even Klopp himself, he couldn't deal with injuries. So you want Eric Ten Hag to deal with injuries? Someone who has just come to this league, still fresh, just 1 year of experience in Premier League. Klopp, who had like 5 years of experience, still couldn't handle, still couldn't perform when the team had injuries. So I think for us, the fans, we are seeing this, and when you look at the results we have had, the first 50 games, Eric Ten Hag is the best. He's better than Pep. He's better than Klopp, and they want to sack this guy. It feels like there could be two things after this. If they sack him, then it could be that United will not recover again. We will not even have the seasons we have had, like last season or the 2 seasons under Ole or under Mourinho. It feels like that, or it feels like maybe technically these guys are correct. They know what they're doing. As fans, we just need to be patient. Yeah, so my personal opinion is that the reason as why these fans don't want him to be sacked is because of the hassles Eric has gone through. He went through Ronaldo, he went through Joe, he went through Garnacho even, you know. He went through even Varane. There was a time, and we was expecting that Varane was Varane is the one who caused us to lose against Copenhagen. So this guy has gone through a lot. He has gone through a lot, and you're going to sack him for that. I think it's very, very rude.
Well,
Yeah.
that is. I think there are some facts to what you're saying. For my personal opinion, I think this manager, last season being his first season in the league, he showed us what he could do in this league. He tried bringing a style of play that we as fans we found interesting last season because we saw United being brave against Barcelona, against Man City in the first leg at Old Trafford. We saw United taking on some challenges that squad was not taking for some time. And fast forward this season, we saw injuries came in. Last season, we had injuries as well. There are some players that were getting injured, and they're injured also this season, like the Martials. They were not available last season, but they didn't affect us as much. But we saw immediately Lisandro Martinez got injured. There was a kind of a feeling that there's a total breakdown into the system the manager was trying to implement at the club. You don't fault him for that. You absolutely shouldn't be faulting the manager for that. You know, Lisandro Martinez got injured. We saw some injuries coming in. Casemiro before him coming back into the team and playing Manyanga. Casemiro was good last season, He was very good. And injuries kind of came in, and Casemiro also lost his form. We saw Rashford, who was absolutely fantastic last season. He's doing garbage this season. And you don't blame the man. These are scenarios you don't blame the manager for. Rashford is doing some things he knows by himself alone. And you can't
Lang,
fault it's like
Lang,
blaming Pep. Hey.
I disagree with you there on the Rashford point because the manager could have done something. You know how good managers get the best out of players. So maybe uh, Ten Hag would have found a better way of dealing with the Rashford issue because we know there's a player in him, but you just have to find a way of, of making him
No,
do what he
I
has to do.
disagree. I disagree to agree. First of all, Ten Hag as a manager can only condition Rashford. to play good football, to play as good as he can. But for Rashford to deliver on the pitch is not on the manager. You get me? It's not on the manager. The manager and his coaching staff can only condition these players and give them their tactical views and what every player should implement on the pitch. Rashford not doing what he used to do is not on Ten Hag, because maybe if he didn't have playing time, maybe if he was in and out of the team, but that hasn't been the case. This player has been playing almost every game. He hasn't been played out of possession. This is a player who is privileged enough at his football club to choose where he wants to play. We have seen the Sanchos haven't had that privilege. However much the fans are skeptical about Sancho, you can't compare his situation with Rashford. I'm not saying anyone is comparing, but Rashford, for his football club under this manager, he has had the privileges to choose where he wants to play. We have seen Garnacho being shipped to the left, into the right wing. Sometimes he's on the left wing. Rashford not performing. Let us make it clear: he's not on the manager. It is a Rashford thing. He needs to sit down, take a deep reflection on himself, come back for pre-season on the right, with the right motivation, with a strong reason for this football club.
So
I know.
why didn't
I know.
why didn't Ten Hag send?
First, give me a minute. Rashford.
Okay.
I know he hasn't been saying anything about that, but you could argue that he has been receiving a lot of stake from the fans, abusing him on social media. But he's not the first player to receive that. We have seen Maguire even get worse. Maguire got even bomb threat, But Rashford, he needs to up his game. Time is running out for him at this football club. He's almost 27 years. He can't keep on doing what he's doing right now next season for this football club. I know a lot of blame has been put on Ten Hag, but one we shouldn't be putting on him is for Rashford and his form, Yeah, so I was just saying a lot has happened this season for this manager to first of all produce the kind of football we expected in the second season from him, and secondly for him to manufacture results. A lot has happened on the pitch, injuries, off the pitch issues he shouldn't really be dealing with, issues that need technical directors and football people in the hierarchy to be dealing with. But you have seen the manager being put on the firing line for all these issues, and I don't think Arteta would be the one handling these issues at Arsenal. I don't think I don't think Pep Guardiola would be the one handling these issues at Man City. So why should Eric Ten Hag be the one handling them at United? For that reason, I feel like Ineos are being so quick on him. They should give him one more season. If it backfires, then they can snap a finger and sack the manager. But right now, I feel like we might just be losing on something we've been building for 2 years, and we should stick to it. Yeah, that's my personal feeling. Dennis, you want to say something? Maybe you can say now.
No, just on the Rashford issue, because he said he could have done something to boost his confidence. Like we have seen him sending Sancho into the mountains.
Anthony will answer you on that.
We have seen Ten Hag caring for Sancho by sending him away for some good months in Holland there. So he could have done something for Rashford to boost up his confidence, because this looks like a player who is not confident this season. And the manager has to get a way of boosting up his confidence. So maybe Ten Hag could have done more to get more out of Rashford. That's what I think.
Anthony, what do you think on
I don't
what
know
Dennis
about
was just saying?
Anthony. Anthony, what do you think?
I disagree. I disagree. This view because this football well experience. Eh? I'm your teacher. I give you all the materials you need to pass. There's no way I'll come to class and teach you to fail. Yes, I know there are some situations in Africa that are like that, but me as a teacher, as a coach, I want you to succeed because when you succeed, I'll also be succeeding. So for Rashford, yes, maybe could not have gotten the Sancho treatment, mainly because mainly because first of all there were no options. If if Rashford was not performing well, but Sancho was there, maybe Rashford could have gone to Netherlands. But again, you Rashford, you're almost 27 now. You're only 21. You don't need such treatment. Sancho is like 22, I don't know, 23. But Rashford, Luis Diaz's dad was at gunpoint. Luis Diaz was at gunpoint. But he was still performing for Liverpool, scoring goals, giving assists. But you look Rashford, his cousin, moreover, not his brother, not his immediate relative, his cousin. I don't know, man, but I think the coaches did all their best to that guy. That guy has his mentality is still very, very low.
Yeah, Anthony. Yes, you have a good point there. That you brought up Luis Diaz. You brought and the issue with his dad. But Rashford is not Diaz. They are two different people, and they perform at different level. They have different mentalities. So you as a coach, you should know that. You should know that Rashford needs this sort of treatment in order to perform this high. So the coach should know this thing, and that's what I think. Because we know there is a player in Rashford. We have seen Rashford score 30 goals in one season. This season, registering less below 10 anyway. So I think Ten Hag should have done more, but also it's. I'm not saying that Rashford is good. Rashford he needs to step up as well. I'm trying to say that Ten Hag could have done more, but Rashford as well should step up his game.
I think we should stop this habit of the manager, looking out for these players as if, yeah, I know football wise, the manager can call a player into his office and, summon him and ask him what's wrong, what's not happening. But what Sancho got, let us not let us not appropriate it to every player. Let us not have this mentality at this football club. Because if United start moving like that a manager gives special treatment to every player, how many players will want special treatment? We saw when Ronaldo was at the club. The guy lost his daughter. He went for the next game at Arsenal and he played. You know? I was even against Sancho going to Holland. I was very against Sancho going to Holland because you are a professional. If a coach decides to be lenient enough with you and take you and give you a break, and you have your break, you should come back and perform. But we saw Sancho even coming back, he didn't even perform. But anyways, this is not about Sancho. Rashford doesn't deserve any special treatment. That was just a giveaway special treatment to Sancho, and no any other player will get it again, and no any other player should get it again. Yes, it's you know it's not bad to give a player 1 or 2 days, then he comes back for training the following day. But you then is coming here and saying, why didn't the manager also give Rashford that kind of treatment? If we start,
I am not saying Ten Hag should have sent Rashford to Holland. I am just saying
yeah,
he could have looked for some ways of boosting up his confidence. That's all I'm saying.
I'm pretty sure Ten Hag has tried every way, to boost Rashford's confidence in the training ground, and even have a one-on-one chat with him. We cannot see what is happening on the training ground, of course, but those are things every manager would have done for any player who is lacking confidence. And even on press conference, we have seen the manager come out and say he's capable of replicating the form he had last season. You know, again, that is another
He
way
is
of
capable.
telling the player that we believe in you. You know, you can do what you were doing last season. Ten Hag hasn't bashed Rashford to make him lose his confidence. He hasn't said Rashford is not the player he was last season. Any other manager would have easily come and say, "Yeah, Marcus Rashford is not the player he was last season. He's working on the training ground." But the manager came and say he's capable of doing what he was doing last season. That should be an indication to Rashford, his brother, and his family members that you know what, we believe in you. Just get down to work, and you're going to get back your form. But Rashford has taken to make it even worse. To make it even worse for Marcus Rashford, he hasn't helped himself because if you're a player and you're on a poor run of form, you should be likable. You should be working hard. But we saw Rashford again as Coventry City. He was facing an injury. We saw Rashford tracking back in very many games. Are you helping yourself as a player who is not on form? Are you helping yourself? Bro, do the dirty work if you know you're not on form. That is why Anthony somehow, doesn't get the stick Rashford is getting. He gets the stick, but he channels it in a better way. The guy is running, the guy is working hard, he's making tackles. Rashford, in all this, he hasn't helped himself. Let us all agree to disagree. He has been very lazy. He has been on social media doing his PR stuff. All these were not helping Rashford. So let's not put this blame on the manager. And moving forward to the next topic, um, we have seen leagues. United, I think United in the history of football, this is a football club. In the last decade, this is a football club with the most number of leagues. Be it transfers, be it dressing room, be it training ground, be it, the kitchen, be it where United has always had leaks coming out of the club. And now, one of the biggest leaks before a cup final just popped out yesterday, and that was Ten Hag getting the sack. I wanted to know from you, Anthony, who is responsible for this leak? Because that that journalist, I don't think that journalist got the news out of his head that Ten Hag got the sack. Who do you think is responsible for these leaks? Between Ineos and Glazers, these are the guys that are in charge of the club. If there are any leaks of that magnitude, it should be from one of them. Who is responsible for these leaks?
Well, I have two theories. One of them, I think it's the Glazers, because they have been here for long, and these things have already happened. And it's not something new. So probably it is still them. But I looked at it later, and I was like, these guys, they are saying that Omar Barada, Jason, is it Wilcox? I don't know. And when I look at where were these guys? These guys were at Man City. So What if somehow there it is actually Man City causing all these things before the game, before the big final? What if it is Man City creating all this tension? They had their sources before around these people. Probably they still have them. So what if it is just Man City creating all this commotion before a big final? That is my take.
That is very interesting. And Dennis, who do you think is responsible for these leaks at this football club? Especially this one coming on the eve of a cup final.
It can be anyone. It can be anyone because I don't know. I don't know. You know the way, you know how something leaks, how news leaks out. So it can be anyone. It can be someone who is so close to one of those big guys at the top. So we don't know. It can even be Ten Hag's guys. So we don't know. So some people are saying it could be Ten Hag who has leaked the information. Since he now knows it's going, let this be a reason for me to, like, even if I lose tomorrow's game, at least people will say, it was because of the leaks. It was because of the leaks that dropped down the performance of the coach. So maybe they told Ten Hag that no matter what, we are departing. Uh, we are departing with you. So maybe Ten Hag is the one who brought up the leaks, or maybe it could be from the side of Ineos or even so we don't know. Personally, I don't know. It's still a mystery for me. But the truth is that it's now out. Like literally, everyone knows what is going to happen. I don't know if it's just a rumor, a false rumor, or it is actually the truth, and it's only a matter of time until the statement is official. So we don't know. Well, we don't know what is happening, and where the leaks came from. I'm also not sure. It can be anyone. It can be anyone.
I personally think, these journalists are after money. And what generates money for them? Traffic. When they get traffic, now that guy made an article, and probably he has gotten the most traffic he has gotten in his career as a journalist. Because these are not mainstream journalists again. These are publishers mostly. The journalists in terms of publishers. And that's why, they find it very easy to just break in any news and without any streamlines or anything, and they just get what they want to get. I feel like this might not even be true, but it's a career-ending kind of leak if this one is not true for that journalist. If it doesn't work out that Eric Ten Hag gets the sack after this, then I think his career is done. Because this is a very huge breaking news any journalist should be putting out there. My theory is, I feel like these guys pay the people at the club, you know, because it has already been evident at United. It's very easy to leak stuff. The last thing at this football club that should be getting leaked is what is in the dressing room, but we have seen it getting leaked. Then what of news that comes from the boardroom or any other meeting which is not between the players and the coach? It's very easy to leak that one. I feel like these journalists kind of have informants at the club. They kind of pay them, you know. It's kind of a barter trade. You give me some money, I give you some information. And if it's coming from there, I just hope it's not true, but there's a higher possibility that, this is a very true leak, because I don't think these journalists would be mad enough to just put out any leak out there that would end his career after 2 days. And yeah, we just hope it's not true, but I see it being true, unless Ineos, retract back and maybe I have another theory. This could be the Greenwood kind of saga. We saw before Greenwood going on loan. We saw United kind of releasing news that Greenwood was coming back, something like that. Then they wanted to find out what the fans would say. I feel like there's another side of this kind of league. Maybe Ineos wanted to see what majority of the fans has to say about changing the manager or not. And 2 days are very enough. But again, you'd ask yourself, would they be mad to do that on the eve of a cup final? So it's difficult to predict. But anyways, I see it being very true. Hopefully, it's not true for Eric Ten Hag because I feel like he deserves another season. But
I think
we
for
can only
the
watch the
journalists,
space.
for them, they don't have anything to lose. Yeah, because, for instance, maybe this is not true. Huh? They will just say that uh, because maybe Eric won, or maybe because United showed that they fought but they still lost. You know, the Ineos then decided to change their mind and keep Eric Ten Hag. So for me, I just see for them it's just a win-win situation. No matter what happens, whether if he's truly sacked, then they will win double. But if he's not sacked, they'll just change the story and still get clicks. They always find a way.
Yeah. The other thing is, we have seen a gentleman, a Nigerian called Trey on Twitter, jinxing anything that needs to be jinxed, you know, on this platform. And unfortunately, he's a United fan. He's a United fan. And this guy, anything he gets his hand on, it gets even jinxed. And we're just unfortunate as a club is part of us. And we saw something that is going for the FA Cup final. And if he's going, I think for me personally, we don't even have to watch the match and wait for the result. It's probably out now because that guy is a jinx master. What do you, Anthony? Do you believe jinxing things first of all? Do you first of all believe in jinx as some kind of something that is true?
Yes, believe it's true. I have seen it before, not with Trey only. This is massive now. This is too much. The guy even jinxed on the whole country. He said, Lebanon, see you again later. And the next day, they were bombing Lebanon. This guy has something. He needs to be investigated. He needs to
Do
be
you think
investigated.
do you think jinxing is related to kind of some Afro chemistry?
No, no, no.
I think some people are just born with it. Just born with it naturally. Probably it
What
has
do you
not
think?
started. But you failed to jinx Messi. You failed to jinx Messi. You almost jinxed Messi. Almost.
I heard rumors that he jinxed Tenak.
Yes, he jinxed the nag. Before all these rumors came out, he tweeted that uh, Pochettino is under pressure. I don't know who is under pressure, and yet Ten Hag is still there surviving. Then some few minutes after, this guy.
What do you think about the jinx master?
No, like I don't believe in those in all that. I think it's just coincidence. I think it's just coincidence. That's all. But
Coincidence every time.
uh,
Every time it's a coincidence.
yeah, it's possible. And maybe this guy is just lucky, and he's just a lucky guy. But it's not jinxing. Uh, but first of all, what do you mean by jinxing, by the way? Because I don't know the way you guys are taking the meaning. 'Cause jinxing is when Trey's uh, what Trey hypes up Man United on Twitter that we are going to beat City today. It's time for revenge, and then City just embarrasses us. So I don't think Trey is the guy that is that guy. He's just an I think he's just a normal guy who is lucky. But uh, Trey, um, it's not something that we should look at. It's just an um, an interesting fact, but let the guy just be. Let him be. Let him be. 'Cause- and it's even good for us because he's a United fan, and you never know. His luck can change the result today. Him being at Old Trafford at the Wembley,
Is that Wembley?
the final.
Yeah.
Yeah, at Wembley.
Um. So you've seen United win 2 consecutive games last week and before last week, and probably anyone would predict the lineup heading into the final based on those 2 games. Yeah, we have seen a few absentees coming back. Varane, Lisandro Martinez played. He started in the last game. We saw Marcus Rashford also, come as a sub, and hopefully Anthony Martial will also be available for selection for this game. And yeah, so we can kind of predict the provisional squad that will be involved in today's game. And I wanted to come to you, Anthony, based on based on that provisional squad. Who are the players you're going to pick for this final? Who are the most suited player for this final? Who are the guys you're going to zero down and trust for this particular final? We have seen majority of them were available last season for this final, and they lost 1-0. Majority of them were available, apart from a few guys that are missing. Who are those players you're going to back if you're Tenag for this particular game today,
All
and
right.
why?
First of all, I will go with. We have liked our defense. Our defense has not been good this season. And if you look at the past 3 games, it is the defense that has won us the games. So I will go with Martinez has to start by all means. Even if he gets injured today, he still has plenty of time to recover. So Martinez with Varane at the back. Then I would Wan Bissaka should play as a right back. He has been he's totally poor at left back. So let him play as a right back, then Dalot as a left back. And in midfield, that's where, of course, but the goalkeeper is always Onana. In midfield, I would go with Amrabat has to be there. Amrabat has to be in that midfield. Amrabat has to be in that midfield. Then after Amrabat, I'll go with Casemiro. After Casemiro, I would go with Maino. Then Then my forwards will be Bruno Fernandes, uh, Garnacho, and Ahmad. Garnacho on the left, Ahmad on the right. These are players who have been fighting the whole season. They have to start. They have to start. Garnacho has to start. Ahmad has to start. And because they're young players, just imagine that we make it maybe a draw till the last minutes. I don't think it is better to bring them on later because they are young, and when taking penalties, it could be it could be a heavy job for them. So for me, I would put them in first, then we shall see what happens. Try and win the game. Yeah, and yeah, that's my lineup for today.
And I want to get from you, what kind of tactic would you go with as the manager to beat Man City? Because um, personally, I feel like Ten Hag has tried the closest the closest tactic that should have beaten Man City for Ten Hag recently was the one at Etihad.
Mm.
We conceded very late in that game, but we were very organized before conceding. So I don't know how you feel like Ten Hag should approach this game based on the players that you've selected.
Well, I have the same feeling that Man United should do their best not to concede fast. Even if they don't have any attempt on goal, they should not concede. They should not concede. And our best defenders are Martinez and Varane. So those two should start. And in front of them, put their Amrabat and Casemiro. And Casemiro is good at those crosses, yeah, those direct forwards to the forwards. So just put him there, give him the ball, let him look for the forwards, for the running forwards. Yeah, and hope. Because Man City, yes, they have been really good, but they are very beatable. They can be beaten. And for us, there's no other way we can do. Maybe he'll surprise us like the way he surprised us against Liverpool. But we can just be compact. Hope. Maybe you never know. Maybe Martinez will score. Maybe Varane will score. These are the games. These are not the games where we expect Ahmad to cut inside and shoot, or Garnacho to cut inside and shoot. These are the games where we just don't need to concede. Let it even be nil-nil till the 120th minute. Yeah.
Yes, Dennis. Uh, who are the players you're going to trust for this game, and why, and how would you approach the game?
Mm. Yeah. Let me first start with the lineup. In goal, I would go with Onana because seems like he's the only keeper we have right now, and who has got the experience for a big final because we have seen him in the big stages. So it's obvious it has to be Onana in goal, and then Dalot. No, on the right we have to go with Wan Bissaka, and then our two centre backs should be Varane and Martinez. I don't know about Varane's fitness, but he's not injured. He's not back, so I don't know how fit he is. But if he's good enough to start, I think it should be Varane and Martinez. And then on the left back, we should go with Dalot because Dalot has been playing decent all season. So I think the putting David there is reasonable. And then now, in the midfield, shall I feel like we should go with two, two, uh, two sitting in front of the defenders. That is in Casemiro and then Kobe. I think those two can can do a job today together. I wouldn't mind. I would not mind to see Amrabat because Amrabat has been decent also in the past few games. But I think it will be Casemiro and Kobe, and then Bruno should be our number 10. And on the wing, on the wings, I would go with Ahmad and then Ganacho, and then Hoyland up front. Then Rashford. I think Rashford should also get involved in this game because it's a derby, it's a Manchester derby, and Rashford has something to show in this game because we know his qualities, and it being a Manchester derby, I think Rashford uh, he doesn't need motivation in this game. So I think Rashford should also get involved. Maybe if he starts, I will not be surprised, but he should definitely uh, be subbed into the game in case he doesn't start. And who else? McTominay should also be involved in the game. I wouldn't mind him starting as well, but I think he should start from the bench. Yeah, I think those are the players that I feel can do something in this game. And the tactic, the game plan, because we are playing Man City here. This is a team that is unbeaten in so many games, and with it will be a very big shock if we defeat them today. Because first of all, Rodri is there, and we know that when we know what happens when Rodri is there. So if we beat them today, it will be a very big, big result, a big shock to the whole world. But this is it's a one-off game, it's a final. So that means we can still knock them out, even if in the penalty shootout. But I'm not saying that should be the game plan to see the game off until penalty shootouts. I think we should just be compact as usual. Uh, Not concede, as Anthony said. We should just be we should be disciplined in the way we defend. We should be the centre backs should be wary of the City attack, especially Haaland in the box there, and they should all be at their best today. If we are going to get something out of this game, they should all be at their best today. So I think that's how we can go about it.
Okay. So I want to start. Are you? And how would you approach the game?
I just said it. I just said
Okay.
that I just say that we have to be compact. We just like Anthony said, make sure you don't concede. Fine. This is a game where we all know that we're going to get very few chances to score. So what we should first put in our minds is let's not concede so many goals. Let's try to keep a clean sheet for as long as possible, and that means being compact. That means sitting back. So when we do that and we run out, let me say halftime 0-0. That is good for Man United because second half we can still get something, like we can still continue defending, and maybe if we get those one or two chances, we can also get ourselves a goal. So we should try as much as we can not to concede a goal. if it means going to penalties, let's go to penalties and see who is who. But I think that's the only way we can beat City because we all know how big a threat City is, and we cannot just start playing them. Like we cannot try and outplay them in the midfield because it will never work. We cannot try and play the Liverpool style because I'm not sure about our defense. So let's just sit back and try not to concede any goal. And we hope for some individual brilliance from one of our forwards. That's it.
Yeah. Um. Thank you, Dennis, for your view. First of all, I wanted to start with the lineup United used last season. You know, last season. Let me start with City. How City lined up last season was United in the final. Had Otka on goal. Son, they had Walker, they had Diaz, they had Akanji, they had Rodrigo, which is Rodri, they had De Bruyne, Gundogan was the captain, Bernardo Silva, Grealish, and Haaland. If you see from that lineup City had the last final, you don't find out that so they only don't have the available guys only don't have is only Gundogan, to be honest, only Gundogan. And United started that game with the hair, Van Bissaka, Varane, Lindelof, Luke Shaw, Casemiro, Fred, Eriksen, Fernandes, Sancho, and Marcus Rashford. We saw later the substitutions United made. We had Garnacho come on, we had Valdregos come on, we had Maguire come on, and Dalot. Those are the substitutes United made. The majority of that game, basically, Tenag got the better of Pep. Just as Man City scored very early into the game, and United was on the losing end, because of that goal. But tactically, Tenag managed that game quite very well. We were very compact. We were very glided. We were very active. The times we needed to break, we broke very well. But Man City were also quite organized on counters. I personally feel like since we have the same manager this season, anyone would argue that last season, United City that early into the game, and under that scenario, we saw that goal came by. It was something like a free kick or a corner kick, and someone cleared the ball but did not clear properly. The ball went to Gundogan. No one blocked the shot. The hair was the other side of the goal. It didn't balance the post. Boom! It was a goal. And the goal that anyone would say it was very avoidable. The most annoying bit of it was quite fantastic throughout the game. That game could have gone to extra time. And in extra time, anything was possible because we had Dalot, who came as a sub. We had Garnacho, who came as a sub. We had Rod Vegas, who was also fresh as a sub. And we still had Rashford on the pitch. Anything would happen on that extra time. And even if United had gone for penalties, I think we had an upper hand against City on penalties because emotionally they would feel like they had lost the game. Because they had the ball majority of the time, and penalties would have worked well for United. I feel like going into this game, we can pick something from the last final and just avoid conceding any early goal. We should just avoid any early goal in this game. Because an early goal derail the fans. This is a Manchester affair. Wembley is going to be divided into two ends. One side will be red, one side will be blue. At any time you get your side quiet, you're giving hand to the other side. And we don't see they are going to have the ball majority of the time. So their fans will probably be shouting. That is if they have enough fans. That is if they have enough fans to shout. Because we know they have very few fans. That club has very few fans. I saw today on Sky Sports, majority of their fans were traveling from Manchester, use the train. And United fans, most of them were in London. That means United has very many fans in London, and City has very few fans in London. Majority has to travel from Manchester. So I feel like if we avoid an early goal in this game, we have an upper hand of taking even the game to extra time. So the lineup I would go with, it would be a bit controversial, but I feel like finals need controversial type sometimes. I know Ten Hag has been going for the basics. This is like, I personally, I would go with, I would go with Onana on goal. I would go with Dalot right back. I would go with Dalot right back. And City, since they lost Mahrez, their right hand side has not been as their left hand side. I would play Wan-Bissaka there, because Dalot, if we have Dalot on right back, who might not even start the game, they might begin the game with really show someone like that. I don't know whether going to go with that. Even if they start with Doku, we have seen how Dalot has improved on 1v1, probably better than Wan-Bissaka this season. Wan-Bissaka has been very poor on 1v1. We have seen against Gordon. And I feel like wingers have just with Wan-Bissaka. I think wingers have finally known that Wan-Bissaka, if you go outside, is going to get you. Just cut inside. That is when you're going to get Wan-Bissaka. And we've seen very many wingers doing that this season. One short of the season. That is what wingers are doing, and Wan-Bissaka is having a torrid time defending. When we saw Bako, what Bako was doing to him, we saw what Gordon was doing to him, and not only those two, very many wingers have been cutting inside, and Wan-Bissaka has been having a very difficult time. I would go with Wan-Bissaka on left, Dalot on right. I know Varane is fit, but I wouldn't set Varane in this game. I personally will go with Casemiro, continued Casemiro, and Lisandro Martinez. On midfield, I'll go with Amrabat. I'll go with Kobe Maino and Bruno Fernandes. Then my striker will not be Rasmus Højlund. I want to play McTominay as the number 9. And on the wings, I think Rashford should start on the bench for this game. I personally would go with Garnacho on the left. And I know, Ahmad has been playing well, but this game we need guys with goals. And Ahmad has goals, yes, but This is a game where we need us, and I would bet Ahmad for this game. Not that he wouldn't get involved into the game, but he would just come as an impact sub. I would start with Anthony. I know it has not worked time and again. Anthony starting, Anthony starting, Anthony starting. You know, everyone believes that Anthony will do something, but eventually ends up not doing anything. But I feel like for this game, I would prefer I would prefer Anthony over Ahmad for no particular reason, but I just have a feeling Anthony would give me more of a fight than Ahmad in this game. This is a game we are not going to have possession. You know, this is a game our wingers will have to track back a lot. This is a game where our wingers will have very little time on the ball apart from counter attack. And Ahmad, if he starts the game, is going to get tired. We know he's more dangerous for counters than Anthony. So I would bring him the second half when Man City players are probably desperate for a goal and they're probably tired. You know, and I will bring Ahmad and Rashford and Rasmus Zoyland. Those three players, I feel like if we use them as sub, they would win us the FA Cup. Just imagine Rasmus Zoyland, Ahmad, and Rashford on a tiring Ruben Diaz, tiring Akanji, you know, and a tiring Walker. That would be that. And this is my point for the game. Just defend as much as you can. I don't want to see any tactical gimmick, what playing well in the beginning hours. Defend, man. You have to defend. You need not to concede in first half. If you don't concede in first half, you have a chance against City. The biggest mistake in this game would be conceding in first half. It would be done. Let first half be 0-0 or 1-0 for United. Then the subs will win us the game. Those are my feelings for this particular final. I know, Dennis, you were smiling. I think some of the things were controversial for you, especially starting Anthony over Ahmad. What do you think of my line?
It's not that I'm against it, but personally, I think Ahmad. Okay, fine. He can start from the bench, but he has to get involved as well in this game. Whether I start from the bench and comes in later, or whether he starts the game, Ahmad has to be involved. Because one thing I like about him is and why I think he's better than Anthony is because the way he holds the ball is much better. And yeah, we have seen him. He has more ideas at the edge of the box. He has more ideas compared to Anthony. Anthony, we know when he's near the edge of the box, he'll obviously cut in and maybe try to shoot. Very rarely, at times he will try and make a pass, simple pass, but most times he'll go and try and curve the ball. But with Ahmad, he's good at holding the ball. His IQ is also he has some IQ because he can switch passes, like he can switch uh, to from one wing to another. He can hold the ball. So Ahmad has to be involved in this game, whether from the bench, but he has to be involved. So I'm not against you, but my take is that he has to be involved no matter what, at least for a large part of this game.
Anthony, what do you think, Ahmad and Anthony? Who would you be starting and why?
I'll go for Ahmad because Ahmad has been Ahmad has been performing, and you never know, maybe Ahmad is the one actually in this final. So I would go with Ahmad. There's no debate there. I'll start Ahmad when we score there 1-0, and we're trying to see off the game, then you can bring on a defensive winger like Anthony. Yeah. But from the start, I just go with
Yeah,
And putting Casemiro at the back is also a suicide mission.
but this is
It's a
going to
suicide
be a
mission.
very.
You can't.
Don't you think it's so risky to start a Varane who has not been playing for probably 2 months?
Varane, but I'm sure he has been trained. Okay, that could be one reason why he should not start. But I think he's fit enough because he was back on the bench for a few games back. So I
Even
think
play against United, he came on.
because Varane he was at Madrid. He has been at finals. He knows these things. So I'm sure Varane can be okay to start.
Okay, and then what would be your score prediction for this game?
this but I'm going with Man United.
1 United. Dennis, score prediction.
I think 2-2, and the game will be decided on penalty.
Okay. And who would win the penalty?
Now we cannot know who is going to win the penalties. Of course, now we can hope for the best in paying a penalty shootout, but 2-2, and then we see who is who in the penalty shootout. Of course, I'm rooting for Man United.
I think, for me, I think
2-2, we win penalties.
I think it's going to be an opportunity play of the last final. And last season, City won 1-0. I think this time United will win 1-0.
City
Ahmad
won
would probably
2-1.
get 1-1. Oh, 2-1. It was 2-1, yeah. It was like 2-1. I remember Bruno Fernandes scored a penalty for us. But still, I think United is winning 1-0. 1-0, narrow escape for United. It's going to be as narrow as it can get. You know, we are going to be on the wires this one. And I see someone like Ahmad getting the goal because he feels like he has been our lucky charm this season when it matters. So, if there is any player that I would want to get the winner, it would be Ahmad. How about you, Andrew? Who would you desire to get the United? If United win?
Want Varane or Casemiro. Actually, okay, yeah, I want Casemiro or Varane, one of the two.
How about you,
Yeah, definitely one of those guys who are leaving, Varane or Casemiro. Ahmad, I mean, if he doesn't score, as long as he brings up the good performance, maybe takes the man of the match, which is very hard to do against City. But maybe Ahmad will be the one to assist. But the goal scorer should be one of those guys leaving. Maybe between Varane and Casemiro.
Thank you, boys, for this wonderful pleasure and the first two of you. That has been outstanding. Hopefully, United will tonight. We will celebrate on the coming stream. But good thank all of you for tuning in. Yeah, good wish. I hope we are winning, and I know we are going to win. Yeah, those are my final words. 100 is also fine. So we are ending the show. Thank you for being part of the show today. Wish all of you a nice game, and see you. It's a bye from the United Cynicals. See you next time.
Yeah. See you after the game.